Galecki, and I'm the Director of Bands here at Hershey Elementary School. I'm going to show you all of the instruments that are available in the band that you can play. We're going to learn about instruments from the woodwind family, the brass family, and the percussion family. Let's go. The flute is the highest sounding instrument in the woodwind family, and you make a sound by blowing air across this blowhole here, the same way that you would make a sound in a soda bottle. And you use the keys to make the different pitches, highs and lows. The flute sounds like this. The next instrument that we're going to talk about is called the oboe. The oboe is a member of the woodwind family, and it uses something called a reed, specifically a double reed, to make the noise. Now, the oboe has a very, very unique sound to it, so I don't need a lot of people to play the oboe, but I definitely need some people to play the oboe. So if you hear this oboe sound and you're like, that's for me, make sure you sign up for the oboe. Here's what it sounds like. Next, we have the clarinet. And the clarinet is the member of the woodwind family that is most like the recorder that you learned in 3rd grade. The biggest difference is 1, all of these keys, and 2, that it uses something called a single reed, which is a thin piece of wood that when it's wet and you blow across it, makes the sound. The clarinet can play high sounds and it can play low sounds. And here's an example of what the clarinet sounds like. Is the alto saxophone, and it is the largest member of the woodwind family, so it plays the lowest. It uses a single reed, just like the clarinet, but it's a little bit bigger because it's a bigger instrument. It is also the heaviest instrument in the woodwind family, so we have to use a neck strap to be able to hold it, and its case is pretty heavy, just an FYI. But the saxophone sounds like this. Now, all of the brass instruments use something called a mouthpiece that you make a sound called a buzz into. And the different size of the mouthpiece corresponds with the size of the instrument and how high it plays or how low it plays. We use our lips to make the different sounds, and we are helped by valves on some of the instruments and a slide on the trombone to change the pitches. A buzz on just a mouthpiece would sound like this. The first instrument that we are going to talk about in the brass family is the trumpet. The trumpet is the highest sounding instrument in the brass family and the smallest. You make the different high and low sounds by pressing down different valve combinations and using your lips to tighten and loosen to make the high sounds and the low sounds. The trumpet sounds like this. The next instrument in the brass family is the French horn. As you can see, the French horn is a very unique looking instrument. It once again has valves and a mouthpiece like the trumpet, but it is held with your hand almost inside of the bell. And the French horn sounds like this. The next two instruments that I'm going to show you are members of what we call the low brass family. They read in bass clef and play the low sounds. So because they play low sounds, they are generally bigger instruments. These two instruments that I'm about to show you read the same music and use the same mouthpiece and play the same pitches. However, they get there a little bit differently. The first one is the trombone. The trombone uses something called a slide to make the different sounds. We put the slide at different positions to make the different pitches, though everybody's favorite thing to do is this. So its partner instrument is called the baritone. It uses the same exact mouthpiece and makes the same sounds, but it is held differently and uses the valves. It sounds like this. The last brass instrument that we are going to talk about is the tuba. And as you can see, the tuba is the largest instrument in the band. Now it is a brass instrument, so we blow into the mouthpiece and we use our valves to make the sound. The tuba is super fun to play, and I hope that you will choose it. Let's go, band! The drums. Now, if you sign up to play percussion, you sign up to play every single instrument in the percussion family. Now, that might include the triangle, that might include the güiro, it might include the tambourine. It also includes instruments like the marimba and the timpani and the bass drum and the snare drum. But before we can get started with all these different percussion instruments, we have to get our foundation started with our bell kit and our drum pads. So if you sign up to play percussion, you will get a kit that has both your bell kit and your drum pad with drumsticks to get you started. Now, I cannot take an unlimited amount of percussion students because there just aren't an unlimited amount of percussion instruments for us to play. So if you are interested in signing up for percussion, please sign up for percussion. But please know that if too many kids sign up, I might need to have some little auditions to see how your rhythm is. So have a backup instrument just in case. After you sign up to play for percussion, the first thing we work on is our bell kit, and it looks like this. It is also called the glockenspiel, and this is what it sounds like. After you've watched this video, you still need a little bit more information about the instruments. Feel free to visit my website, which is ob-music.com. It's on the next slide, to see pictures of all of the instruments and videos of professionals playing them. But if you decided that band is for you and that you would like to play an instrument, that's awesome. I'm so excited to get to work with you. And you can let me know by having your parents email me. My email address is on the next slide, or have your teacher email me, and we will get you started.